further introduction, let's put our hands together to welcome our special speaker of tonight, our Royal Master Jason Singh.
Good evening and good morning, America, and good very early morning for J Park from Seattle. How's everybody doing? Okay, can you hear me very well? Okay. Because one of my partners is sleeping in the room, so I want to be careful. Um, well, nice to meet you. My name is Jason Shim, the Royal Master from New Jersey, America. Well, today I'd like to talk about my story a little bit, and then I talk about atomy. I came to America in 1996, and I started American life as a busboy. You know what busboy is? That's the job for, who doesn't speak English, just to clean the table, dishes out of the table from the customers in the restaurant. That's what busboy is. And because I couldn't speak any English, I just have to, do the busboy, couldn't do the waiter. And then later I figured the waiter's making, more than double amount of money than the busboy's making. So I asked my manager, how can I become a waiter? Because the manager was the Korean, okay? And so he told me, hey, listen to radio. And I started listening to the radio. In the beginning, that's when I couldn't speak any English. So when I listen to the radio, even now when I listen to the radio, I don't understand 100%. Probably I understand maybe 50% or 60% even now. So at that time, when I listened to radio, I had no idea what they're talking about. I couldn't even figure out when is the starting of the sentence, when is the finishing of the sentence, what's the subject, what's the verb, what's the objective. I couldn't figure out anything at all, no matter how many times I listened to. So I complained to the manager, hey, I kept listening to the radio. I have no idea what they're talking about. You know what manager told me at the time? He said, keep listening. If you cannot hear it, you cannot speak it. If you cannot speak it, you cannot become a waiter. So that's one of the biggest advice in my life, changing my life, right? So I accepted it and I kept listening while I was sleeping, while I was going to bathroom. Every time I have a moment, I kept listening to the radio. And then that's how I started learning English slowly. But talking to the customers by taking the orders in the restaurant was not that complicated. So I was able to pick up that English really fast. But of course, obviously, I had so many embarrassing moments because when the customers talking to me in joking manner, right? I didn't know what they're talking about, so I became like a very very embarrassed, and then uh, I became like a what do you call it? Red face. So very very embarrassed many times, but I had to face the situation. So I just kept doing it, kept doing it, and I got much better doing waiter, and I was able to make more money. So by making more money from the restaurant, my life got a little better. But as soon as I met my wife at the time, I spent all the money because I know Benny, I know Mr. Daniel Kim and Mr. Henry Kim, and probably Anton too. When you meet your spouse, probably you spend everything you got, right, to lure the girl that you love, right? Right? I'm pretty sure about that. So that was me too. I spent all my money. Probably I spent even more than I was earning. And then finally I was able to marry the beautiful lady that I have now, right now, right? But the thing is that there's a severe consequence when you marry with a beautiful woman, right? I start to have children, not just one, not just two. I had three, and all of a sudden the things happen. I when I have three children, I bought my house. Actually, before I had the two, I bought my house around that time, and that's when the what is that the subprime mortgage crisis happened, right? The whole world got impacted, right? That's when I bought my house. My friend asked me, "Hey, Jason, if you don't buy a house now, you never get a chance to buy a house." So I bought my house because that's the only time they are lending the money for people who doesn't have much money. So I bought my house, and my monthly payment got really high. But at the time, I was working in a dry cleaner, making deliveries, and not even an owner, right? So making deliveries in the dry cleaner and doing second job and third job, but that income was not that high. But um, as soon as the subprime mortgage crisis hit the United economics, my income started going down, and I had to work even more hours. At that time, I feel like, oh my goodness, I'm just became a working machine. Let me tell you something. I am the first person who went to university in my whole family, whole my grandfather's family. you know, I'm the first one who went to the university, and I went to America. So all my family in back in Korea, they thought I'm doing very well in America, but in my reality was very bad or totally opposite. Finally, I had a very trouble paying the bill, but one day I got a phone call from my wife. I'm talking very fast, okay? She said she's pregnant. And actually, at the time, because I have three children, I have too much bill that I had to pay. I was waiting for my wife to raise children enough to send them to school so that my wife could go to work and earn money, because I was only one who's earning the bread on the table. There was so much burden, second job, third job. And when I come home, it was almost midnight, sometimes after midnight. And in the morning, I wake up like at 5:30 and I have to go to work again. So if I'm not sleeping, I was working all the time. That was my life. And she called me, she's pregnant again. And even though I thought I was a born again Christian, I said, no way, we cannot have this another baby. So we made a appointment with the hospital. And after I made an appointment to the hospital, I feel something is pressing my heart all the time. I feel like the whole sky is pushing me down to the ground, like and then I feel like no joy and no energy. Every day I feel like I'm dead. And whenever I go to church, I feel strange things. I feel like God is talking to me. And I feel like God is telling me, you should have this baby by faith. If you believe in me, have this baby, keep this baby. And I said, how? I kept asking, how? Even now I'm having big trouble. How could I keep this baby? Right? And then I was asking, but for sure, every time I go to church, I feel like I'm listening, God is talking to me like that. And finally, I changed my mind and I decided to keep this baby. And after that, I didn't know how, but my heart got a little bit joyful, right? I listened to, I kept my religious promise to my God, right, to follow His words. But I broke it temporarily, but I changed my mind to keep, to follow God's word. So that gave me joy, but my real life didn't change at all. So long time short, I got, I decided to keep this baby, but my real life didn't change at all. Actually, it got even worse. I start to, I finally happened to lose the house, and everything happened same time. The day uh, my number four was born was January 9, 2009. It's very easy to remember, right? I'm not asking you to remember this, but my number four was born January 9, 2009. And very same month, I lost my house. So I was, you know, I had to move out from the house that I bought for the first time in my lifetime. That was January in New Jersey. You know, in New Jersey, it's not like a Singapore. It's just like a Korea. Not just South Korea, it's like a North Korea. It's very cold, snowing day, and I have to move out from the house. After my wife gave birth to my number four, she had to pack everything by herself. You know, remember, if you give a birth, you have to take a rest, at least like in Korea, like a 3 weeks, at least minimum. But my wife couldn't do that. My wife had to start packing everything by herself because I have to be earning the bread every day. You know, every time I come home, I feel like I'm crying, you know, because, you know, I couldn't help the situation. It was very, very sad at the time. And because we are the only ones who are living in this America, all my family members are living in Korea. There was nobody could help us to move out from the house to the new house, you know. So that was my very toughest part of life. Long story short, that was my deepest sorrow. And every day I was working, I feel, you know, very, very bad. I feel like, you know, doing something really, really bad, which is against the Christianity. So I couldn't do it because it was against our religious, right? But you many, many times, something is telling me, hey, you know, you could finish it very easy. If you finish it, it's just easy. You don't have to worry about anything else. Almost every day, something is telling me that. But because I was Christian, I couldn't do that. That was my life at the time. But finally, May 2010, almost 1.5 years later, I lost my house with my four children, you know, when my youngest was only 1 year old. One of the strange lady came to me, came to US, and somehow we met, and she asked me the question, hey, do you know Atomy? And at that time, I couldn't help. I was totally, totally hopeless. And I had no joy. I was just like a zombie. You know, I was a living flesh, but no soul, no spirit, nothing. I was just flesh. That was me. So no joy and, you know, nothing. And when she asked me, do you know Atomy? I said like, I didn't say this, but I was like, what the heck is that? Who cares, you know? But she started explaining about Atomy. And for the first time ever, I heard something that I never heard in network marketing industry. She said, no joining fee. You know, I had a 6 times of network marketing experience because in America, you have to do your own business to be successful. But because I don't have any money, no skill, no education in America, so I couldn't have any my own business, right? So, but only the business I was able to do was network marketing. Only small amount of money, like only $500 US dollars. You know, comparing to opening a real business in the street is nothing. And every month it was like a $30, $50 was nothing to compare to, you know, the regular business. So that's why I did 6 times of network marketing before, and I failed all of them. I failed all of them. But when my sponsor came to me in Atomy, telling me about Atomy, that was something never heard. You know, all this network marketing in America, I think 99.99% of all these network marketing companies, they have joining fee and monthly obligation, annual fee, sometimes even website fee, right? But no joining fee, no monthly requirement, no annual fee, no website fee. Well, okay, you know. And she said, hey, you know, nothing to lose, right? I knew that she could deceive me because I got nothing anyway, right? Even though I have a credit card, I don't have much limit. Even though she got my debit card, I don't have any balance in my bank. So, you know, she cannot deceive me. So I just became a member. And that was the biggest decision I ever made. At that time, I didn't realize at all that I could be role master in the future. I just became a member, ex- expecting almost nothing from her because she just looked like a country girl at the time. She's very fancy now. She's a Crown Leaders Club member now, earning more like a $40,000 a month, right? She's really, really fancy now. But at the time, she was a salesman at the time, right? And she recruited me. So I just became a member, didn't give a lot of thought about my success. I just became a member. But she asked me to get the facial. She asked me to save some time and she gave me some facial. And then so I lied down, she gave me the facial. And after we finished the facial, she said, "Oh, your face is so much better." But I didn't feel much better. I didn't feel any difference. But she just keeps saying, "Oh, your face is very good." I thought she was trying to, attract me. And then she invited me to a seminar. So I went to the seminar and I intentionally leave my wallet in the car because I couldn't afford to pay the entrance fee. I don't know in Singapore, usually if you go to network marketing seminar in US, you have to pay like $5 to enter. That's entrance fee. And at the time, I couldn't even afford to pay the entrance fee. So I just, left my wallet in the car intentionally. And I told, "Oh, I forgot my wallet." As a man, like a man pride, "Oh, I don't have money." I couldn't say that. So I told her I forgot my wallet. And she said, "Don't worry, there's no entrance fee either." And I was like surprised. Okay, there's no fee at all, no entrance fee. And I thought, are they giving away free gift also? And yes, they were giving away the free gift as well. And I became even more skeptical, actually. It was very sensational in the beginning to become a member because no fee at all. But as a network marketing company, you have to have a monthly requirement to run the business. That was the regular idea at the time. But she said no fee, no entrance fee, and giving away a free gift. I was more skeptical. And while I was listening to the CEO, I became a totally different person. You know, CEO's speech was changing everything. My thought, my body, my idea, my philosophy. He changed me everything. And he changed me from zombie to a living flesh, living soul. It sounds like a Bible, right? Just like that, I became a totally different person because I saw the vision. According to his speech, I feel like I could be successful. Well, this is a new thing, new network marketing. And he was explaining basically, we give free membership just like Walmart, just like a Panera Bread, just like a Starbucks. If you go to the Starbucks, Panera Bread, or Walmart, there's no joining fee. The owner didn't tell you to spend certain amount of money every month. You just go there because you like it. I stopped going to Starbucks, of course, because we have a coffee in Atomy. But anyhow, he was explaining like this, and it made total sense, right? If the customers liked it, if the customer find the value from the store, they don't have to tell you to come to the store. They will go voluntarily. That's why we don't have any obligation. And we give you 100% money back guarantee. Still, yet we have lowest ever returning rate in the whole industry, 0.12%. This is amazing returning rate in the industry, right? So that's why Atomy is bringing the customers, those customers voluntarily coming to Atomy, buying products again and again and again. So if you do Atomy business, you will be making residual income. This is very important quote, residual income. Residual income means you work once and get paid over and over and over again until you die. And even after you die, it will pass down to your children and their children. I was like, wow. How do you feel when you realize the value of atomy? Can you express by your body language? Bill, what time is it over there in Seattle? Right? I was like, I didn't express much, but inside my body, I was like, wow, residual income, you know, customers come to me voluntarily. Let me tell you something. I was doing once Amway. Do you know Amway? Right? I did for 1.5 years. I worked so hard because that was my first network marketing company. And I love the concept. You just switch your product from regular store to Amway. I love the idea. And if you tell this idea, people will change their product. And by doing this, you could be making a residual income. I loved it. But there was a fee. And the product price was so high. So at that time, I couldn't even buy any product. Let me tell you something, another one. Because we were so poor, my wife couldn't go to hair salon for a whole year. She couldn't buy any clothing for a whole year. For a whole year, I had to get a haircut from my wife. It was ugly haircut. Of course, she gave me a haircut very nicely these days, but at the time, it was very ugly. But I didn't care because, I have to save money. We have to try to cut any spending. So she gave me a haircut. When do I get the haircut? Right after Sunday service from the church. Because whenever I go to church, I cannot wear my cap. But whenever I'm working, I can wear my cap so I can hide my haircut, right? That was my life. So do you think we could afford to spend money to buy MA products? No, we couldn't spend any money for the product from MA because it was so expensive. But we were trying to sell the product. 1.5 year during the 1.5 year, I worked so hard and I recruited so many people for 1.5 years. I recruited around like 12 people. It was so many people. Okay, you have to understand. It wasn't easy to recruit people because there was a fee, joining fee. I have to explain them why you have to pay this fee, why you have to buy this amount of money every month, why you have to pay the annual fee, right? I have to tell them, I have to make them to be, I have to persuade them, basically. But it wasn't easy. That's why even though I worked so hard for 1.5 years, I was able to recruit 12 people. And out of these 12 people, only one person recruited 3 or 4 people. I don't remember exactly. And other than this one person, none of them were able to recruit more people. So even though they told me this is the duplication is the key, almost none of my partner was able to duplicate. It's so difficult, right? But when I came to AllAboutAtomy, they told me customers are coming voluntarily. Of course, I have to come to them first. But once they use the product, they find the value and they find the quality and the price was so affordable. We call absolute quality with absolute price. That's why they keep coming. And they stay here. They continue buying it. As a result of that, voluntarily customers coming to AllAboutAtomy, you will be making residual income much easier. And you just have to do 2 lines, 2 legs. Think about other companies. For example, MA, you have to do 6 legs initially. And if you want to be higher, go higher and higher, you have to do 12 legs, 18 legs, 24 legs. It's crazy, crazy. Even doing 2 legs is not that easy, right? Do you think AllAboutAtomy is so easy? It's not that easy, even only 2 legs. But if they tell you to do 6 legs, 12 legs, 18 legs, do you think you could do it? I don't think so. I don't think so. It's almost impossible for a normal human to do it. Probably some like people who like a Superman, maybe they could do it, but not for regular people, not for people like me. Always had nothing. Not handsome. Of course, I'm handsome now, right? Not capable. Of course, I'm capable now because I was educated from Atomy. But anyhow, the way I was 10 years ago cannot make any success in MA. Of course, not even Atomy, but I got educated. So, long story short, I was like so fascinated by our CEO, and I got so much excited about Atomy, and I started doing Atomy business. Wasn't easy because I was the first person in America starting doing this as a business. Of course, we have my sponsor had a lot of customers above me, but I didn't care. You don't have to care about your sponsor, right? All you have to do is just your business. Don't worry about people above you, right? So my sponsors in Korea, right? She couldn't come to America very often, right? And then all my the onlines in America, they didn't do atomy business. I was the first person who started doing atomy business. I opened the center and I start doing the weekly seminar. And once in 6 months, people, the company come to my area, gave us a one-day seminar and Success Academy. Every 6 months, they came to my area and do the seminar. And for 2.5 years, after 2.5 years, they start to come to my area every month, giving us monthly one-day seminar. That's how I started. So you could imagine, right? The company wasn't ready enough to start the business in US because US was the first market. They started as a overseas branch. Anyhow, long story short, I I did I was totally crazy because I was totally uh, 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 in atomy business. The other day, one of my partner came to my house. We were having a meal together, lunch. We were having lunch together, and my partner said, "Oh, I don't like Hong Samdan, the red ginseng, because I don't like the taste." What was my response on that statement? I said, that's why you cannot make a success. I didn't say this actually. I just thought, had a saying in my mind, you know, that's why you don't make a success. You know, even I didn't like the taste in the beginning, but this is my product, Atomy product. I kept eating because it's my product. And I start to love it. Now I'm drinking Hongsam tea now. Excuse me. Anyhow, once you sold in Atomy, I want you to love everything about Atomy. Everything about Atomy. Love everything about Atomy. If you think you see some negative things from Atomy, that means you are not 100% crazy. I was 100% crazy, and I was super positive person about Atomy. Atomy was like religious now. Of course, I have my Savior Jesus Christ, but other than that, Atomy was the first priority because I wanted to be the father of the person who were able to provide to my children whatever they need. Now I am. But before I was total loser. But I want to become a provider, sufficient provider for my family. But I couldn't. But through Atomy, if I can become the person who I want to be, if you want to have the freedom that you want to, if you want to go wherever you want to go, if you want to have the time that whenever you have the time, whenever you want to have the time, right? You have to love Atomy 100%, no matter what. Even though you don't like the taste, swallow it because the life is much bitter, right? I want you to swallow whatever it is. Then the life will be much sweeter, right? So let me talk about a little bit about my vision. Anyhow, Atomy is a big business. Express you with your body language. Let me ask you something. How big is Atomy business? Like, yes. Those people who make a big action, like Jennifer and Anton, right? They are, this is scientifically proven. People who make a bigger reaction, they are faster making success. That's why in Atomy, we have more number of women making success than men. No matter how funny joke I make, men just laugh like this. Okay. Okay. But ladies, whenever I say joke, they will go crazy. That's why ladies are making success much faster. So if you're a guy like a Benny, right? Ask your girlfriend or ask your wife to be involved in Atomy business, because without your spouse, the ladies' help, it's not easy to make a success, right? Except for Henry Kim, I'm sorry about that. But anyhow, right? Atomy is big business. If you think Atomy is a big business, you need to consider these 4 things to build the Atomy business. It takes time to build a big business, and you need a big commitment, and you need to focus, and you need the best team, right? Number 1, it takes time to build a big business, right? Water start to boil at the 100 Celsius temperature, right? Right now, the water is only like a 20 degree Celsius, right? You keep adding the heat to the water, right? And water became like 30 degree, 40 degree. Do you see the difference in water? It doesn't change at all. Keep working harder and harder and harder. It became 90 degree. Does it change? No, not at all. But people start to be tired. People start to give up. Oh, I work so hard. I don't know how hard they work, but they said they work so hard. And they say, oh, I don't see any difference. I don't see any result. And I'm kidding. They quit. So many people quit. Probably you heard the Success Academy this morning from Singapore and yesterday from America. We had a wonderful, wonderful Success Academy. I'm so excited to have. I cannot wait to have next week's Success Academy. I strongly recommend you to join our Success Academy from US. You have to keep consistency, persistency to see the difference. And Atomy, because this is a big business, it doesn't happen over the night. You have to be persistent. Keep working until you pass the 100 Celsius degree. And snowball effect. Everybody wants to have a snowball effect. Once you made the initial snowball, it gets easier. That's auto sales master, right? But if you want to make an initial snowball, you have to hold on tight, even though you feel like freezing. Your fingers are like crazy freezing, but still you have to endure, persevere to make the initial snowball, and then it gets easier. If you cannot go through this difficult, not easy. That's why we call this a big business. And I want you to make a big commitment. Let's compare. Number 1, you're making a dog house in your backyard, right? Dog house. Number 2, you are making 100-story building in Singapore. Which one needs a big commitment? Number 1, number 2? Number 2, of course, right? Dog house is something, oh, you know what? I'm so bored. Let's just go ahead and make a dog house, right? You can just do like that. But making 100-story building in center of Singapore or any part of Singapore, you need a big commitment. Big commitment. Let me tell you a story about how big commitment I made. I decided to do Atomy business as a full-time. And if you understand about American life, it's not easy to become a full-time, right? Even you become a leaders club, it's not easy in America because you have so much liability every month. For example, before I started Atomy business, my rental was $2,500 per month. That was my rent. And I need a 2-car insurance, and I need the diapers and formulas, and I need to support my family. So I need a lot of money. But one day my sponsor came to me and asked me, hey, Jason, do you believe your success in AllAboutAtomy? You know, I'm a Christian. If someone asks me, do you believe, then I automatically say, amen. Amen, right? If you're a Christian, probably you know that, right? If someone asks you, do you believe? Yeah, of course, amen, amen. When she asked me, do you believe that you could be successful in AllAboutAtomy? I said, of course, I believe in it. And she asked me, if you believe in your success, you should put your both legs into one place. Not one leg on here, one leg over there. It's in the Bible says, say you are cold or hot. Say you are white or black. Don't say you are in the middle, right? That's what Jesus said. She was quoting the Bible. She wasn't even a Christian at the time. And I feel ashamed. I'm a Christian. I should know better about the belief. But she was asking me, if you believe in your success in AllAboutAtomy, you should do full-time in AllAboutAtomy. And I was complaining to her, you know, even though you become an auto sales master, at the time, I wasn't even an auto sales master at the time. And even though you become an auto sales master, your income will be about $2,000 a month. But at the time, my rental only was $2,500. It's not even my rental. So I asked her, okay, you know, I love to do AllAboutAtomy as a full-time. Then would you support me? Would you hire me to do AllAboutAtomy as a full-time? And you know what she said? She said, I can help you. I don't have capability to help you. And she said, even though I have a capability to help you, I won't help you. I was so disappointed, so disappointed. But she said this, you know, Jason, if I say that I want to support you, you wouldn't do your best. And I said, everything she said was right. People have tendency of leaning on something else, right? I usually say this. Listen carefully. I love this quote. You have no idea how strong you will be until being strong is the only option you have. Mothers, probably you understand this. If your children is in trouble, you become a superwoman. I know that. You have no idea how strong you will be. But if you see your child is in danger, you will become a superwoman and you have no idea how strong you will be. Same thing. Same thing. If you are in the situation that you have to put your life in it, you have no idea how strong you will be. That's how big commitment you have. You have to make a big commitment like that. So as a result of that, I became a full-time. Long story short, that was my best decision in my life. I decided to become full-time. I'm not asking you to become full-time from tomorrow, okay? Just make a big, big commitment that you cannot normally make a decision, okay? Number 3, focus. Focus. You need to focus. I see a lot of people doing AllAboutAtomy like a laser. You know, I don't need to do AllAboutAtomy business, but I just do it. I said, I have nothing to say to those people. But if you are desperate enough to be successful, you need to focus. Why? Because if you don't focus, look at the guy trying to roll the rock over the mountain. Do you think he could take a rest? If he take a rest, if he stop rolling the rock, the result is he's gonna die. Same thing. You have to have a mindset like that. If I stop doing AllAboutAtomy, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna lose my life. My family will suffer. That was me actually. If I stop doing AllAboutAtomy, my family will suffer big time. And I'm gonna become a big, big loser. So never ever stop doing acting business every single day. Every single day. So focus is a key in your success. I want you to do 10,000 hours in 2 or 3 years. Calculate your hours. You know, you understand about 10,000 hour rule, right? You have to focus for 10,000 hours, not discrete hours, but condensed hours. Understand? Focus. Number 4 is you need the best team. We have a thankful Star Master Henry Kim and thankful Star Master Daniel Lim and Star Master Jennifer Lim. They are my Star Masters. I have more Star Masters. But all my Star Masters, they are my best team. They are always worried about my maintaining about my mastership. They support me big time. I love my partners. Do you have this kind of best team in your team? You know, they work so hard for their sponsor. You know, sounds very, uncomfortable for some people, I think. But I think this is the best strategy. You know, if you want to build a 100-story building, do you want to build a 100-story building with your friends around you? Or do you want to hire the best team from the whole world? Right? I think number 2 is the answer. You want to hire the best team in the whole world. You don't want to build a 100-story building with just like friends around you. No, you need the best team. So let me ask you this. How can you have a best team? The first thing that you have to do is you be the best team for your sponsor first. Tell your sponsor, hey, sponsor, don't worry about my side. I'll take care of everything. I want to become a biggest leader in your group. Or if your sponsor is not doing well, don't worry about my side. I'll just go faster than you. You take your other side only. Tell your sponsor like that. If your partner tell you this, how happy will you be, right? I know you will be so happy. Oh, my partner will be doing all things better than me. I'll be so happy, so much happier, right? You become the best team for your sponsor first. Then you will have your best team as a result of the duplication, right? You want to have a good son, then become a good son. You want to have a good daughter, then become a good daughter first, right? That's how you have to be have the best team. Now I want to talk about faith. If you understand about atomy, you should be able to see your future, your success. If you don't see your future clearly, now you need to understand about the company, about the products, about the compensation plan, about the system. If you understand all of these 4, company, products, compensation plan, and system, it will be automatic that you will be able to see your future. What kind of future do you see? You don't see it? Then make one. Let me give you an example. How would you feel that if you have $10,000 cash coming into your bank account every single month for your rest of your life? How would you feel? Do you feel like this? Okay, not bad. Or like I told you before, right? You want to make a big action like this. Oh my goodness, $10,000 coming to my bank account every single month for my lifetime. Feel it. I don't want you to just think about it. I want you to feel it with your body, with your sense, with your taste, right? With your feeling. Feel the $10,000. Feel the $20,000 coming to your bank account every single month. Feel it. Then you will see it. Okay. And this is my tip. to make a success faster. This is what I did all the time. When I was when I just started atomy business, every time we listen to a VOD, there are so many promotion speech, right? They become royal master and they came to the stage and they give a promotional speech, right? That's what I dreamed all the time. When I was agent, I was telling myself, Jason, what you want to say when you give a sales master promotion speech? When I became a sales master, Jason, what you want to tell them about your diamond master speech? When I became a diamond master, Jason, what are you going to tell them about your Sharon Rose master speech? When I become a Sharon Rose master, Jason, what do you want to tell about your star master speech? Always think ahead. Always think ahead. That'll be your real life. That'll be your real life. Whatever occupy in your brain will be your real life. If you're negative thinking all the time in your brain, then your life will be negative. But if you think about the positive things, I want to be successful like this. I want to be like this. I want to be like this all the time. Then your real life will be like that too. So that's my tip. Anita, you didn't give a promotional speech yet, right? You should think about it way before. And then I want you to start thinking about your Star Master speech. Mr. Henry Kim, I want you to start thinking about your Royal Master speech. Mr. Anton too, right? Jennifer and Daniel Lin, I want you to start thinking about your Royal Master speech. Ing, Sales Master, start thinking about your Diamond Master speech, right? Everything must be ahead of time. Put something that you want into your brain first and start thinking all the time. You have two kind of minds, positive mind, negative mind. Whatever you feed to yourself will be you. If you feed positive thinking, you will be a positive person. If you're thinking about negative things, you will be a negative person, right? And put into action, of course. If you don't make any action, nothing's gonna happen. A step to success, A core checklist. We had a wonderful speech yesterday from the Crown Master explaining about the A core list. If you missed it, I want you to take a look at least 5 times. I want you to watch at least 5 times of her speech yesterday. It was an amazing speech. That'll change your life. And make lots of failures. You will be making lots of failures, and know that you have to do that. The more failures you're making, the closer you get to the success. People ask me, hey Jason, how did you make a success? Give me the know-how. I usually say, I have no know-hows. My only know-how is don't be afraid to make a failure. People are asking me the know-how because they are afraid of failure. They don't want to make a failure. That's why they ask me, how do I do this? How do I do that? They don't even did it yet, right? They ask me how to talk to people. Did you ever talk to people? That's my question. No, I want to know how do I talk to people first. I said, just go ahead, talk to people first, and get the rejection, and then start thinking. If you have a rejection, that's the starting point. If you made a success, build on top of your success because you could be much better, all right? And set goal, of course. If you don't have a goal, you have no idea where you are going. And make it happen. No matter what, make it happen. No matter what. Action plan. Define your dream and write them down. I'll be really fast. Read aloud. And like I said, feel it. How much money you want to make, right? This is the simplest way. When you set your goal, when you define your dream, some people don't even know what's their dream, right? Then the simplest is, hey, I want to make $10,000 a month. Write down $10,000, like I told you. Write it down on the piece of paper and put it somewhere that you see every day, during the whole day, right? Or on home screen of your smartphone. or right next to your computer, because we are doing the Zoom meeting almost every day, right? Put a big piece of paper right next to your computer with the $10,000 and read it loud in the morning, first thing in the morning, and right before you go to sleep. First and last thing of your day should be say it loud and feel it. Don't just read it, feel it. Try to feel it. That's how you send the signal to your subconscious. If your subconscious get the signal, then the whole universe will start working for you. But if you don't feel it, nobody cares. Nobody cares, and nothing's gonna happen. So try to feel the $10,000 and try to feel the life, what kind of life will be if you earn $10,000 or $20,000, $30,000. Try to feel how it will be if you become a Crown Leaders Club member earning $40,000 a month. It's not gonna happen if you're not crazy. Someone, if someone is watching you, you're feeling like, oh, $10,000. Oh my God, if I live like that, and you have a big smile on your face, they might say you must be crazy, right? You have to hear that sound, hear that saying, oh, Jason, you must be crazy. Hallelujah. Now I'm ready to be successful because I'm crazy. If you think you're normal, you're not ready to be successful. Be crazy. Love everything about Atomy and define small habits. Small habits. I just talked about 8 steps to success, 8 core checklist. All are fine, very good. But I want you to start very small. Getting up early in the morning. If you're a lazy person, you cannot be successful. I absolutely believe Jay Park and Bill Horst from Seattle, their time is 5 o'clock in the morning. We started 7, 8, right? Their time is only 4 o'clock in the morning. For them to join at 4 o'clock, they must have waken up like at 3:30 at least. Look at their passion. Look at their energy. Look at their dedication. Look at their commitment. Hey, you know what? I don't care what time it is. I don't care because I'm crazy. I just love Atomy. That's the mindset you need. If you think you're lazy, write down in your checklist getting up like at 7 a.m. or 6:30 a.m. If you're at 7 is too early, then write down 7:30. Write it down and make a list and make a habit to check every day. Define your small habits. And at least you have to check a list, talk to one person, at least read some book, at least 10 minutes. Or it's okay, even 1 minute is fine. Small habit. I want you to build a small habit. And if you haven't read The Atomic Habit by James Clear, this is another book changing my life also. Start with a small habit. Define what are those small habits to make a success in Atomy. Define them and write down as a checklist and check every day. And make sure that you do it every day. Let's imagine that you open a $1 million store on the street. $1 million store. You invested millions of dollars in your store. Would you open every day or would you open occasionally? Hey, I don't feel like to open. Would you want to just close it? Hey, it's raining today. I don't feel like to go out. You don't want to open your store? No. Atomy is a big business that you cannot miss. You cannot afford to miss. If you think like that, do the small habits every single day and improve it. Every month I want you to improve it, right? And I want to tell you something very important today. This is my conclusion. The history of mankind is the result of challenge and response. Challenge and response. If you don't have a challenge, you're not gonna be improved. All the culture in mankind history was the result of challenge and response. And the response is this: you could either fight or flight. If you decide to fight it, you will be better and better. But if you decide to flight, which means you run away and ignore and just avoid it, there's no improvement. There's no history. But all the history was the result of fight back to the challenge as your response. What is your response when you see the challenge? Oh, I cannot do it. All the circumstance says, don't do it. I cannot do it. If you keep doing like this, no improvement. If you see the challenge, if you get the challenge, fight it back. Find the way. By finding the way to make it happen, you will see how strong you will be. If you don't see the way, keep thinking harder, because there's nothing that you cannot do. There's nothing that you cannot achieve if you decide to do it. If you decide to do it. People say if you lose the health, you lose everything, right? So health is the most important thing, right? I don't agree with that. If you lose the willpower, you lose everything. No matter how bad health you have, if you have a strong willpower, you could do anything. You could do anything if you have a willpower. So what would you feed to your brain? Fight back or flight? I want you to think about it. We have a big challenge. We have a big challenge. Most of you, I know, speak Chinese. The bottom of the October, in China, we got more than 20 Star Masters. And they were open only since July this year, not last year. July this year, they opened. They got 20 Star Masters already. Do you think they got easy situation? I don't think so. Every Star Master, they have difficult situation. They have things that they have to figure out. They have hustles they have to overcome. They have the difficulties that they have to go through. But they did it. They didn't decide to fly away. They decide to fight back. Whatever it is, let me figure it out. I want to make it happen. And they got more than 20 Star Masters. If they can do it, what do you say? If they can do it, I want you to say, I can do it too. I can do it. And I want to do it. I want to make it happen. Why not me? People are making it happen. And it's not difficult. We got Atomy. I'm not telling you to make a success with MA. This is Atomy. Only 2 legs. We got wonderful product. We have everything, system, sponsors. We got partners. We have a branch office trying to help us. They're not trying to stop us. They're trying to help us. We got everything. So what are you waiting for? What are you hesitating? Why do you hesitate? Make a mind. Make a decision. Make a big commitment. I know in normal situation, it's not easy to make a big commitment, make big decisions. But that's the big commitment that I want you to make because Atomy is a big business. This is not just $1 million business. This is a $1 billion business. $1 billion business. There's a big difference. $1 million, $1 billion is a big difference. Think about it. Atomy is not a hobby. Atomy is life-changing business. Right? And this is my final conclusion. This is final. There's no final. This is my real final. The few. The title is The Few. I don't want you to be the many. I want you to be the few. Only few people are making the history. And many people tell the few people, you are crazy. But these crazy few people change the whole thing. Do you want to become the few or do you want to become the many? If you make the decisions, if you make a commitment like many people are making, then you become the many. But if you are making the decisions or commitments that people are telling you crazy, then you are becoming the few. You are already few. You are introduced to Atomy and you understood about Atomy and you decide to do this as Atomy and you decide to come to this seminar this morning or this night. You are already few. I know we have so many partners out there, but only 100 people are in this room. You are few, very few. And you have to become even fewer than now. What is it? Make a decision, make a commitment, and make it happen. Then you will be the few, not just the few, and you will be making a huge success in Atomy. I hope everyone make a success, and I hope everyone become happy, and I want you to have a wonderful day and night, and God bless you guys. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Jason. Thank you so much. You make me feel like crying, especially the last part. I feel that you are talking to me. And all the way, I found out that for myself, I found that I have so many blind spots that I need to change. Since the starting, you talk about the time and the big commitment and how should we focus, and we need the best team and give us a tip. Yes, I remember when I became Sharon Ross Master, you asked me to prepare my Star Master speech, and I feel I laugh and I think it's very crazy. But I think I should follow your advice and I should follow it. And I also think that I treat the Atomy business as a hobby, because I think my age I had treat it like a hobby, but I now have to treat it like my life changing business. Okay, thank you, Jason, so much for your advice and for your guidance. I think tonight is a very super good speech. And we learn a lot. I'm sure everybody will learn a lot from tonight's seminar. Thank you so much. Now we will choose any question Q&A. Let me look at the chat. Any Q&A? Anybody want to ask any question to our Royal Master Jason Singh? Or anybody want to say anything? If no question, I think our Royal Master have made so clear to everybody. Then we don't have any doubt and we don't have any question. We just follow. Everybody agree with me? We just follow what our master or mentor tell us. We just follow and you can see success soon, very soon. Just follow, because what he has gone through will be a very good example for everyone, for us, and it's true and it's real. So, or anybody want to share any comment? Nobody? Jason, why nobody want to ask questions? Usually they have a lot of questions. But tonight they are very quiet. Okay, so anybody from Singapore, please? Jason, nobody want to ask questions. They are so quiet.
Okay, I'm gonna point to a person. I think
Okay,
Anna is making a big smile from Singapore. Anna, can you say something about today?
Let me see. Where is Anna? Anna, where are you?
Yeah, she just yeah.
Okay, yes, I saw you. Good.
Ask question. I'm new to anatomy. A lot of things still need to learn. Still think a way because I got my full-time job. Sorry, let me close